Hey, um, just an update as normal. Um, things going up and down, up and down. I mean, better than it was 5 months ago, but just not fast enough. Um, I usually film these videos when I'm more tolerable, but the last few days I've been not feeling so hot. The electrical buzzing is just intense. My mind is just not all there. Uh, the DPDR is rough. Um, just being in a major trance, and I'm having this issue where that I had, many months ago that kind of cleared up, came back, where your back of your neck is just really it hurts, and it's just the muscles pretty intense, insane. So I've been getting a lot of headaches from that. I can't like sit and look at the computer for long without the burning going up the back of my neck and down half my spine. Um, Still getting out here and there. Like if I had to, I could. I just not. It's cold out, and my nerves have been on end for the last few days. Normally my anxiety's been pretty getting a lot better. I mean, it's not great, but it's gotten a lot better. But went out for breakfast yesterday, and I don't get out to restaurants too often, but I could just feel it the whole entire time. My nerves just buzzing. My head's just kind of pulling back and forth. Like I said, it's not as bad as it used to be, but it's I don't know if it's a wave or what. My symptoms are intense. I was hoping after sleeping last night I'd feel a little better because yesterday was one of those days where I sit there and go, "Am I gonna have a seizure?" I haven't had one yet, so I'm probably not gonna. But it's that feeling. I don't really know what it's like to have to feel an actual seizure, um, but that's what it feels like. It just feels like something's gonna happen, like something's gonna snap. Um, just trying to take it easy. Um, just feel completely out of body and out of head, and but my stress has been higher than it's ever been. It's rough. Been trying to finish up my taxes for this year. Almost done. I've been waiting on forms from specific companies after I moved, and I had some closed accounts, and it's been hell to get these forms. And so far, I haven't. I've gotten one, and the rest I don't think I'm gonna get. So hopefully, I won't need them in the future. Probably not. I can't fight for them anymore. I've been fighting to get these forms since the end of January, and it's just been utter hell. The other day I consolidated my credit. I can't believe that that's probably what made my nerves go through the roof because honestly, it's not even the best deal. I have about $600 to $700 in credit card bills I pay every month. It's a lot, and it's consolidated to about 418, which sounds a lot better, but it's super stressful because now I didn't have the money before to live, and now I don't have the credit cards to, keep regenerating. Even though that's like a really crappy way of doing, living, is paying a credit card then using the credit. But that's how I've been doing it to get by. But now I'm wondering if I put myself in a worse situation. So we'll see. I still have a lot of questions for them. It's really kind of confusing and complicated. It was easy to set up and do, and they do help you, but I mean, you have to pay balance. It's really complicated. You have to like pay. They shell out the money for the lower rates that they're going to end up paying to these companies once they accept them. But in the meantime, you have to pay the balances. So you're paying the full amount, really, for a little while. But now I don't have the backup of credit. It's going to be really complicated for the first like 3 months. Then it'll get a little easier. Because all the companies have to agree to the new way it's being paid and all this. I'm not really sure exactly. It's really confusing to me. I have some questions for them. I tried calling today, but they're not there till Monday. But anyway, it's consolidated into one bill a month. I was paying 13 credit card bills. 13. Some were only like $20, but I mean 13. It was so hard to keep track of. It used to not be hard. I could just do it. It was no problem whatsoever. But now, since I've been sick, it's just trying to keep up with it. Just been hard. So now it's one bill, $418. Sucks, but you know, do what you got to do. I mean, things are getting tighter. Things are getting more complicated as things go. Not sure exactly what's going to happen financially. Things are getting harder. I guess that's about it. It's just been hard and stressful, and I have no time to relax. Trying to keep a business afloat. Trying to pay bills that you cannot pay. I have a psychiatrist assessment appointment this Tuesday. Basically, a therapist or psychiatrist. I wanted a psychiatrist because I know they could help me get off my mirtazapine. I mean, I really don't need them. I kind of know what to do, but you know, it kind of gives me more confidence to do it when I actually speak to somebody about doing it. Then I'll actually do it. Just like how I got off benzos. Of course, it was a total disaster, but I got off of them. I had the confidence to do it. Now, I wish I had somebody to tell me to taper slower, but then again, I wouldn't have believed it because I would have been so sick. I would have just jumped off anyway. But the mirtazapine needs to be cut back. I know that's making me worse. I tried to believe it wasn't, but I know it is. I'm starting to fall asleep better on my own now. So I know I could at least get it cut in half and see how I do for a while. I can't just jump and cut it. That's going to take a long time. Probably 6 months to a year to at least cut it in half. Normally it wouldn't even take that long. I could do it pretty quick. But being in a benzo recovery type situation, your CNS is so sensitive. Any little alteration throws all your symptoms crazy. So I'm going to be pretty freaking sick, but it's got to be done. I need to get back to my life, but I have to figure out how to pay bills while doing all this, and I'm losing all my stuff. I'm selling it all. My whole music studio is almost gone now. After that, I really have no idea what to do. We'll see. It's going to be a rough year, man. I don't know if it's going to be as rough as last year, but financially it'll be more rough. I need to get through tax season, and I need to get... I'm trying to come up with more ways to make money, but every time I come up with one, it has to do with music. And as long as I'm selling my music studio, I can't exactly do that. And people didn't pay me quick enough for me to keep the studio. So I got to come up with more ways to make more money. An extra $500 a month would be a real relief. I'm just not sure how to make it. I've been doing the same thing for 15 years and I've been able to make my bills and not have issues. But right now, my girlfriend helps me run my business, so there's really only one good income coming in. So, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. If I was able to drive more than 15 minutes, oh my God, I could probably get away with forcing myself out and suffering through it. But it would be bad. I just wish this would start getting better quicker. I could understand all this if I was on these benzos for 15 years. I could understand the suffering, but the fact that I only took this low ass dose for 3 months, it's a surprise. Screwed up my whole life. I don't want to end up falling into a deep depression because of this. I don't want to lose everything I have, which is almost the case, you know. There's things I have to keep in order to run my business. I can't get rid of those, so that's not an option. I still have a partial music studio left, but it's just not bringing in income. So I have to sell it to pay for certain things, especially, I got to bust out a payment of $418 for that debt consolidation thing as of the 1st. I mean, just to drop that in one time is not easy. That's not how I make money. But that's how I have to do it to start. I have a little bit of savings, so it's going to come out of that. Hopefully I can get it back into savings. But I haven't been able to save anything in about a year. I think like $20. It's just pure suffering. Just horrible. I could tolerate the physical. I don't care. It's like I have horrible pain. I have just the inner movements are horrible. But you don't hear me talking about it much because honestly, if my head was clear, I could go out to work. Physical sucks, but without the mental ability, just sucks. I want my mental mental clarity, although I never had a lot of mental clarity thoroughly, but I had enough to where I could drive for hours on end and go to work and drive hours on end back. Sometimes I'd have some bad days, but where it was worse and I didn't feel right driving. But now it's like, can't do it at all. I've been trying a little bit. I'll drive to the post office. I'll drive to the grocery store. I'll drive. I took a drive last week or something for like an hour. But it was hard on me. Yeah, it gave me a few bad days because my brain started to flash and it was hard. It just can't handle it. I don't know why. I've done everything in my power to be better. I mean, my diet is perfect. I mean, I'm gluten-free now. I eat chicken, squash, and eggs. That's about it. That's mostly it. I don't eat anything bad at all. Once in a while I have bacon, and that doesn't even bring out my bad symptoms. And the pork doesn't bother me. But that's the worst I get. I'm just tired of it. I'm just so tired of it. It's been 7.5 months now. Horrible. I'm not even sure. It's like 7 months and a week. Something. I can't see the calendar. 7 months and 2 weeks. This shit gets really old. Just not sure what to do. I've always had the answers. That was the one great thing about me. And I wish somebody would have just told me in the past before I tried benzo, saying, I know you've got issues, Dan. I know you've got issues, but look how much you're able to accomplish. Don't take something that could possibly ruin that, because what you can do is more than most. If somebody could just have told me, gave me, I couldn't see it myself. But these past months, man, I look back and go, wow, I just did so much and I accomplished so much. And now it's nearly killing me. Everything I'm losing so much. Week by week, I lose something else. I cry about it all the time. It's horrible. It's horrible. After this, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Not a clue. Not a clue. But I mean, the positive thing about the debt consolidation is, even though it's going to be hell right now, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do about it. If it all works out and I'm able to pay it for 4 years, I will be debt free. So as long as I can stay on track, my future looks really good. I'll only owe about a little over $1,000 in interest in these 4 years versus $20,000 with the credit companies, and that is true. It was like 20-some thousand I would have owed in interest if I paid it. Then it would have taken 10 years. But this is 4 years at a little over $400. I think it was like $35 fee from that, or so. It would have been a little less. But that's how they work. That's how they do it. Unreal. But that's what's going on. I'm not exactly thrilled today. My head feels it's burning. Neck is burning, but my head is more like the pins and needles burning. Kind of stuff you get for the first month after like a regular antidepressant withdrawal. But this has been going on for 7 months. The burning doesn't happen all the time, but when my head gets pretty screwed up like the last few days, and I start feeling worse and worse and worse, yeah, the pins and needles, pretty brutal. Anyway, that's what's going on. Have a great day. I'll try to update again soon. Usually, when I have really bad days, usually the next few days get pretty rough, and then, it starts to get better, and then I get a little window and so forth. So I'm hoping these bad days aren't as long, and the better days keep getting longer. We'll see. If I could cut my stress down, it would be a hell of a lot easier, but I've realized it's not really possible. I meditate every day and everything, and that helps, to keep me to the point where I'm surviving. And people said that I would become, they're like, if you're not religious, after benzo withdrawal, you will be. I'm still not religious, but I have become very more spiritual, which is definitely a different concept for me. And it's been good. I know as I get better, I mean, the positivity in my life is, just me being more positive is a huge change. My diet's a huge change, and I don't plan on, eventually times I'd like to add some things back into my diet, but, in general, I'll keep pretty healthy. I just need to find a way to keep the weight on. Because for a while I was at like 178, and now I'm at like 151. So I'm losing weight. It's not hugely fast. That's 7 months worth. So it's not huge amount, but I'd like to at least stay around what I'm at now. You know, I gained a ton of weight from drinking Coke and Pepsi and shit, and now I can't drink that stuff. Personally, it's better off. But now I got to figure out ways to keep my weight on. It's pretty tiring hearing people, oh, that's your problem. That's not so bad. No, it doesn't work that way. When you're, you know, I used to be almost anorexic, you know, a long time ago, and it's I would have much rather been overweight than underweight. Underweight is scary, and people look at you like you're a drug addict 24/7. It's hard. And then, you know, then out of nowhere for some reason, you know, I mean, my diet wasn't great, but I started gaining weight like crazy, and I gained like 50 pounds. You know, I was drinking soda, and that's huge, but ever since I got sick, I lost all that weight. Well, at least 25 pounds of it. So hopefully it sticks around the same. I'll know next time I go to the doctor. So we'll see. Well, this is what's been going on. I've been just beat, you know. I slept good last night too, and I just thought I woke up and felt like I had a raging hangover. Getting these phantom smells. That sounds silly, but it's really weird. I think I might have mentioned this before, early, you know, not long ago, but like a phantom taste of like hairspray, smoke, just a lot of weird shit. And it's not there, it's just inside. You can smell it, taste it. Just really obnoxious. Not so much today, though. I'm going to try not to be depressed today. I know that's something I'm going to fight today because I feel so horrible. My whole body feels like it's turning and twisting. I have that every day. Some days are way worse. And that makes it complicated for like going out. At least, you know, when I'm at home, I can sit in a comfortable chair and just tolerate it. But when I'm out and have to act normal, that's really hard. I have been trying to get out more, though, and that helps. I mean, I have better days. Not where I feel good. I mean, I'm still probably have... I'm going to try to go by a percentage rating, saying when I first got off these pills, I was pretty much agoraphobic for a few weeks, and the first months were just hell. It was weird, though, because after like the first month and a half, I started feeling better. Not good, but started feeling better. You know, I started doing my routine again, started trying to get back to work. So weird how it went from pure hell to better than pure hell, but not as rough, and then a little better. It's just how it goes. Windows and waves, windows and waves. And then I thought I was getting better, and then just the depersonalization got really bad. I mean, I look at my own self, and I can't even tell what's real. I mean, I can and I can't. I mean, I'm not to the point where I look at myself and go, oh my God, where am I? I know where I'm at. It's just so freaking bizarre and 2D vision, and everything's blurry. And you just look at yourself, and it just doesn't look like your own. It's just weird. DPDR is the most screwed up shit you'll ever have to deal with, if you ever deal with it. I've had it my whole life, so my DPDR during this recovery has been horrendous. So since I've had it as a kid, and I remember going, well, I don't feel right, you know. And then later, I started smoking pot and stuff like that. I did acid a couple times, and that didn't seem to make it worse. I mean, it probably didn't make it any better, but I already had it before all that. I think the years and years and years of smoking pot didn't help. but I stopped, smoking weed, and I used to smoke cigarettes years ago, and I don't smoke anymore. I never really was a drinker, but I would have a drink once in a while, so I don't drink anymore. And mind you, never drink when in this situation, because you can make yourself lose a year of healing. Just don't drink, don't take a benzo, just suffer through it. Oh, and back to me seeing a psychiatrist. Well, yeah, Tuesday is my appointment, and it's like one of those appointments where they kind of place you. And honestly, I have no idea what to tell them. Because everything I say, they're going to be like, you need drugs. You need drugs. And I will refuse to. The only time I will accept a new type of med is maybe another year down the line. If I'm about, I would say about 2 years out, and I still have horrible anxiety, then I might try to get on something and see how it works. It never worked for me before, though, so I don't see why it would now. But I mean, if it's to the point where my anxiety is so bad I still am like struggling to live, then I know it's just a problem I have to take care of. But I need to try to heal first, because before, my anxiety was generalized anxiety, and it was always kind of there. It sucked. I didn't like it. And I always tried to deal with it, and maybe I tried meds and they didn't work, and now of course I'm in this situation. Obviously didn't work. It's funny because benzos at first, they completely work. I thought I found my saving grace. And it's so funny how somebody could take the same amount for years and have it help them. But me, 2 weeks later, I started going through withdrawals. And then I took more, and then started slowly going into more interdose withdrawals. And within a month, I was already going through interdose withdrawals, where I was get so sick before I'd take another pill. It was horrible. And then after that, I couldn't get off of them. So it took me a month and a half to find a psychiatrist, pay him out of pocket, help me get off of him, to find out that he basically cold turkeyed me, and to find out that's the worst possible thing you can do in this situation, and that's why I'm in the situation I'm in. It's horrible. Let's get some water. So, anyway. I start to think maybe I was just born to suffer, and that's how it goes. And I'm hoping, if there's a next life, that I get a huge fucking trophy for what I've dealt with. I won't kill myself. I just don't have it in me. I'd have to be completely fucked up. Not being able to talk and only having a brain to partially work. And I was saying the other day, there will be nothing in my life that will be harder than what I'm going through now. Nothing. I even said, even if I got in a car accident and my legs got cut off, would be way easier than what I've dealt with. Because at least that can heal. I can get in a wheelchair and get on with my life. This, I'm sorry, but mental problems are the worst, because it makes you almost incapable of functioning. It's freaking horrible. Well, I've almost made a half-hour video. It's going to take a fuck long time to upload. But anyway, today is the 18th, March 18th, 2017. I have good days, which, mind you, good days is still only so good. Oh, and I forgot about my percentage I was going to talk about. If I went to 100%, I'm going to say 100% is healed and 0% is completely fucked. I would say I've healed. Some days are completely different. Today, I would say I've still healed 20%. Although it's been 7 months, that sucks. But it is, going forward, not backward. Some days I would say I'm healed 40%. So if I can start remaining at the 40%, shit, that would rock. Because then I could start to get out more and doing all that. But these bad days and then better days, bad, you can't gauge anything. But I'm going to go at the percentage of good days 40%, bad days 20%. So we'll say I'm 30% healed. And we'll keep going. Stress probably has kept me pushed back a few months. Mirtazapine, the Remeron stuff I was put on for sleep, that probably keeps me back. It's probably huge. I shouldn't be on anything. I'd probably be a lot better today if I wasn't on anything. So if you're on benzos and you can, when I first got off benzos, I didn't sleep for a week and a half. I would say about a week and a half straight, every single night, just up going, oh my God, what's going to happen? It freaks you out. And I'm trying to work at the same time. Oh, pure hell. I had my psychiatrist, I did my research, and the best thing I could do was go on a low dose antidepressant, which was Remeron. Ugh. Stuff's brutal. Now I don't even get tired when I take it. But I won't up the dose. And I'm sure it just gives me inner dose withdrawals too. But I'm not upping it. So I'm going to have to, I'm just let my body deal with taking that amount, which is 6.7 milligrams every single night. I cut it and weigh it. Sadly, I went from 6.8 to 6.7, which is a dot. And I was able to tell the difference for about 2 weeks. So since I have things coming up and I have a lot of stress, I don't even bother cutting it back. I'm going to wait to see my psycho doc and go from there. I mean, thanks everybody for watching and supporting me. And, I know sometimes I don't even answer your questions. I say I will, but I don't. Sometimes I can't type all this stuff out. Today I have a question from my 7-month benzo-free video. It, at the end, says, what are your physical symptoms still? Oy, I can't type it all out. So hopefully you'll see this video. My comment to you will be, watch this at the end. I have massive pain throughout my body. But I've always had my whole life, so it doesn't bother me that much. But I mean, it's still probably about 5 times worse than it used to be. But it's a different kind of pain than I've endured my whole life. Before, I've always felt like nerve pain. Now it just feels like fucking asshole pain. It sucks. But there's nothing I can do. I can't take anything. I can't take ibuprofen. It makes me sick and so forth. So I just tolerate it. The inner akathisia, is it called? I don't know. But it's the feeling of constant movement. Your head, it's going like this. I get constant shaking. They're vibrating throughout my body. Horrible. Burning, pins and needles. Shit never goes away, but that one doesn't bother me as much. Shit in your feet and hands, whatever that is. Sadly, I've said it a million times, I can't remember. The neuropathy or something with your hands and feet. Shit doesn't bother me though, but it's there. It didn't bother me from the beginning. It's pretty tough, but when your head's as screwed up as mine, that stuff's nothing. That stuff I can deal with. Weird symptoms of smell and taste. Sometimes I get the throat closing feeling where my mouth starts to get numb and then my throat feels like it's closing in on itself. That's fun. That's a good one. Just the pulling sensations of your head pulling this back forth. I feel like I'm being pushed forward, backwards. That's why it's hard to walk places. My dizziness is always bad. It's not a full-on vertigo. And so far, it's not been a full-on vertigo. Even when it gets really bad, it's not a full-on vertigo. It's just really bad dizziness. I don't even know how to explain it because I've never had dizziness like this. I don't know if anybody uses Photoshop, but there's a motion blur. And that's what it feels like. It's just a motion blur of weirdness. When I turn my head, everything blurs. And then I'm back in reality. It's really strange. Physical. Keep on going with mental, but physical. I keep on, well, lately this kind of went away for months, but it's kind of back where I'll get zings of pain in my chest, like I'm going to have a heart attack. I know I'm not gonna, though. 7 months later, I finally realized that. I don't know. You know what? I'll think of about 20 more when I stop this video. The back of the neck, the burning, the pain in the back of the neck, just the burning in general. And I don't know if anybody else gets this, but like if I push on the back of my neck, I get dizzy. And I'm wondering if my neck has something to do with my dizziness. Might have to go to a chiropractor eventually, which would really suck because I know that's going to make me worse. But I know if I press on the back of my neck, the little area that feels like a little divot hole, if I press on that, I get really dizzy. If you guys get that, let me know. I don't know if it's normal or not. One of the hardest parts about this is I can't take anything, mask some of the symptoms. Pain, I can't take nothing. I haven't tried painkillers, but I also don't really want to because I know it'll just zap my central nervous system like crazy. I mean, I take ibuprofen and my symptoms go crazy. I still haven't tried aspirin. I'm just not ready to try anything new. Months and months ago, I was taking ibuprofen and stuff like that, and it didn't faze me. But now I think since I'm getting a little bit better, I can tell the things that bother me more. Before, I was always fucked up. Like, my bad days were every day. So, if I took something, it didn't matter. I couldn't tell. Now, if I'm having a better day and I take some ibuprofen, then I get back into my bad day pretty quick. And it stays like that for a couple of days. But at least I'm starting to, be able to tell now. So that's why I keep my diet extremely simple. Which reminds me I have to eat because it's almost 1 o'clock my time. I have not eaten breakfast nor lunch. So that's the plan. Thanks for watching as always. I love you guys, and hopefully eventually I'll be able to, once I sell all my shit, hopefully eventually once I start getting better and getting things back together, I can rebuy part of my studio and start getting my debt paid, as I'm doing now, like I said, but it's getting shit back together. I look forward to it, I miss it so much. Music is what makes me tick, writing music, and the fact that I really haven't done much in the past year, I've released an album, but that was done before all this, mess. I still have music I need to release, and I just don't have it in me. Anyway, my throat's starting to hurt, so I'm going to give this up. Talk to you soon. Oh yeah, I stopped with all the commercial crap on my ads on my videos. It's just not working for me. Nobody actually plays through them, and by the time I'm done, I think in the past 6 months I've made $1.15. So I'm not putting them on anymore. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Later on.